My name is Joris Jordan, and I'm here to present to you another business discussion and business training, even on my YouTube channel, Joris Jordan TV. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can always be notified anytime I put on these great teachings and these great trainings. All right, let's go. We are discussing today on sales, how to make great sales. But before we do that, we're going to have a different dimensions and diverse portfolios of what sales entails. All right, we're going to discuss on the type, what sales is. What is sales? We have to discuss that. We have to discuss what type of sales that we have. We also have to discuss on the processes of sales. All right, we have different processes of using even to make a good sales. We have to teach, we will be training you on that. We also have to do with the flows of sales. All right, from the buyer to the seller, we're going to learn all that. The functions of sales, we're also going to learn that. All right, and the steps of selling, the steps of selling, the systems of selling. We're also going to learn all these steps relating to sales. So stay tuned. Let's go.
So, what is sales? Sales is basically an art of selling a product, goods, or services. It's an act. All right? So, you need to be able to put certain additions, certain adventures, certain pretense, certain moods in order to be able to attract a customer. So you need to, in order for a customer to have a feel, to have a desire to own what you want to sell out there, be it goods, services, or product, you need to be able to put on an act. All right? So the question is, what is an act? An act is basically whatever you have to do to be able to let the customer be interested in your product. Whatever story that you need to tell, whatever emotions you need to put up, whatever passion that you need to put behind the scenes, and all that goes in to make it a complete act. So to be able to sell, you need to have an act. All right? So now let's go to the second question. We have two types of sale. Number one, selling from business to business. In other words, from A to B or B to B. Excuse my language. Selling, we have two types. We have the business to business, that is B to B. And we have selling from business to the customer, which is what? The B to C. All right? You need to understand that. This is very much different from wholesale and retail selling. All right? This is slightly different, so you need to understand the concept behind it. Even with business to business, we have wholesale. We have retail, even from business to business. All right? But at the same time, we have if you want us to break down the levels of sales, mostly B to B is transaction between two large companies that are mostly done between collaborations, that mostly done between shared profits. All right. So for example, when Facebook wants to do a special ads in terms of letting people know what is happening to their social media breakdown. Well, the last time it happened when Facebook went off, the first thing he did that he called Twitter, and Twitter had to place an ad or make the announcement even through that. All right. So that is from the same social media platforms, the same social media rival, but then they had to collaborate in order to put out interest that will be in the shared interest between the two. All right. So it's from B to B. All right. Then we have a business or a product or services that is being sold from the business to the customer. All right, that is called the B to C. All right, what do we mean by that? For example, if Coca-Cola makes a product and, for example, is able to send it to large warehouses, all right, what happens is that the large warehouses, we have small businesses that goes there to take it or to buy it from them, and then they sell it single-handedly, they sell it individually to customers on the streets, customers on the malls, customers in other places that probably also want to what use it, or consumer, what we call the consumer. All right, so we have basically a business that is selling to a business in order to sell to a customer. So that is what we call a B2B and B2C. All right, so processes of sales includes: does the customer qualify for whatever transaction that you want to have with the customer, right? You also have to look at how to even speak to the customer, your tone, your personality, your appearance, how you stand. It also contributes to winning or closing the deal. Make a quote. Be specific. Most salespeople need to understand the value of being forthright with a customer. All right. The fourth but not the least is negotiate. And how to negotiate is also very important. Negotiation is key in every transaction because it does set a tone on which the customer can accept or reject a proposal. So that is also very important. The fifth and the last one is close the deal. Close the deal. All right, folks. So these are the 5 major things that you must consider in the processes of making good sale or closing a deal, right? So qualification, talking to the customer, making a quote, negotiation, and closing the deal. How does sales flows? How does sales flows? We talk about the buyer wants the best offer, that is perspective, and the seller wants money. The seller, who is you, the salesperson, you want your money, and the buyer, who is the customer, wants the best offer or wants the best deal out of the transaction that is going on. That is what sales flows is about. So if you want to always make or close a deal, make sure that you speak in the perspective of the buyer, which means he wants the best offer. So you must give him a reason to believe that he's actually cheating you. He's actually having the best out of the negotiation. Let him have that emotion, let him have that feeling. That probably would add up to his being in a haste to close up the deal with you. All right. Let's discuss also on the functions of sales. Sales is all about relationships. Find someone to connect to when you want to make a sale. Find a customer that you could relate to or you could connect to when you are dealing with them, because it's not everybody that you meet or it's not everybody that you talk to in sales that becomes connected to you in your emotion, in your personality wise, and even in your terms of knowledge wise. Because just like in every relationship, somebody may like you instantly or you put off somebody's interest instantly. So you must find certain things that are common between you and the buyer in order to have a flow. All right, so these are some of the functions of sales. Number two, you have to understand that sales is not just connection, but it's a process. It's a process. You must follow the process. And bringing it to mind, I spoke about the process earlier in sales. That is the qualification, talking to the customer, making good quotes, negotiation, and closing the deal. But these processes are the steps you must use in making sure that you appeal to the consumer or you appeal to the buyer. All right? So, number one in the steps in the processes of sales is that make sure that you don't appear egoistic. If my son were to be here, he's going to correct me in my pronunciation because I'm not American. Ego is one of the things that kills or drives away good clients, good customers, because they don't want to deal with somebody who appears to be too knowing. They don't also want to get close or appeal to somebody that would also take their innocence for granted. So you must always appear humble and collected in order to appeal to a customer, no matter how knowledgeable you are, no matter how what we call it, understanding you are about the product. Make sure that you don't overwhelmingly appear to the customer as underrating them. All right, so drop your ego or your drive. Some of us also have a drive of making it look like we have to close the deal, and so we use lies and tonations and kind of body languages even to overact in our drive to achieve the closing of the deal. So make sure that you drop the ego at the drive to make sure that the customer appeals, you appeal to the customer. All right, don't sell yourself. If that is your pitch, don't sell yourself. Focus on the product. Some people like myself buy out of impulse, so it is always important for you to know that customers may have varied reasons why they may delay or decide to buy instantly. So winning a customer instantly or closing a deal may have different reasons why probably you couldn't close it, or probably why you couldn't get to your market or what you want. You must understand that it could be due to budget, it could be due to preparation of the client, or it could be due to your presentation, but does not always mean that you are the reason why the customer couldn't do a final purchase of the product. All right, so the next step you must also consider is why your company. There's always a reason why some people go to Best Buy instead of going to any other stores like electronic stores to buy any product like that. It could be policies, it could be policies like return in 90 days or return in 30 days. It could have more days of return purposes. That is why customers may drive to go there. Or there could be a reason of pricing where it could be slightly cheaper. That is why customers will go there. But one of the major reasons why customers always go to particular shops is always about the relations with salespeople. The customer relations with people or with customers is also very important. All right. The next thing we must consider is the easy use of your templates. Make sure that you can use, as a salesperson, the softwares that your businesses or your companies use. You are very proficient in it. You can use it and not always able to depend on your colleagues or your manager to handle certain templates for you. It appears to the customer somebody who is not kind of knowledgeable or a bit gross knowledge about what you are doing in the place. Experience is also key to appeal to the customer. So make sure that you know how to use your templates and softwares in all that in order to give yourself a good closing deal. Agreement, make sure that you give the customer an agreement. What is an agreement? Agreement is let the customer understand the policies that are involved in the purchasing of this product. Let the customer understand and let the customer know the pros and the cons of purchasing that product. All right. The last but not the least is that issue a receipt of purchase. A receipt of purchase contains evidence of one, payment, and number two, evidence of product. Okay, so these are the things, and last but not the least is the amount of purchase. So these are the things that you must consider even in making a good sales. This has just been Joris Jordan, the only Christian business network that is broadcasting. Please like this video, share, and then make a comment and win yourself this Easter a free Christmas, a free Easter gift, a t-shirt, a mug, or some phone credit. Thank you so much for being with me, and see you in our next episode. Thank you.